Hey guys, I'm here working on the head for the Ppump 6.7. So you guys seen in the last video, we got the guides all in it. And basically what I'm going to do now, if you look inside there, you can see the ridge where when we cut the seat, there's a little bit of a ridge there. So I'm going to go through and just smooth that out with the die grinder. It's just a burr bit on the die grinder. I'm going to go through and smooth those out. And then we're going to hit all these seats. Then we'll be surfacing O-ring that tomorrow, but I wanted to get this part done today. So anyways, do that and then I'll catch you guys. We're going to do time lapse and I'll catch you after. Alright guys, so we got this cleaned up. Not that it's really too big of a deal to do that, just want to take that little edge off just so you don't have a sharp edge on it. So this is what you use for leveling the cylinder head. I have shown it in some of my other videos, but basically you just put a pilot in. So this is the pilot that the tapered pilot, so it gets stuck, but it's a carbide pilot so it doesn't twist. And then you put the level on top of that, and then we'll just level it out. That went the right way would help.
Yeah, you just start to feel smooth.
Yeah, so I'm dragging it's easier.
So we got our level there now. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this out of there. So the next part of the process now is we're going to take valve. This is the exhaust valve. Now we're doing all of these 45, so they're all going to be exhaust valves. And the 45 degree helps to promote flow a little bit, so that's the reason that we do that. I'll get into that in another video a little bit more. The reason I mark it like that is that you can see where the pointer is hitting easier. I've already set this, but just so that you guys can see it better. So we're going to take the pointer, so you get that on your setup gauge, and there's a bunch of different style setup gauges. This is just one of the ones that I have, but you can see where I'm going to touch it across there. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but you can see the line just right there by the edge of my fingernail. And then we're going to do the same thing on here. You just come across and touch it, and you can see where it scratches across the cutters, because that cutter is a 3-angle cutter. There again, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that really well or not, especially now that I made it black, but it's a 3-angle cutter. So there's the 45 degree right there that we want, right at the edge of my fingernail. So what we'll do is I'll cut the first one and then I'll throw back in a time lapse for you guys to see. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll actually time lapse this first part and then I'll come back to the last one, because there is a little bit of messing around that has to go, and I don't want to add that a whole bunch of time to the video for no reason. All right, guys, we're on the last one here, so I figured I'd show you the last one. Basically, all I do is just a little bit of lubrication for the pilot. I just put a little bit of WD-40 on it, which isn't a great lubrication, but it works good for this purpose. And I got this machine set so it only comes down so far. And basically, we just come in. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in the video real well, but you basically just want to come in the depth so that you can see the third angle start. Basically, this one's a little bit deeper. This one actually cleaned up really well. Let's see what we got left here. This one actually, the way that the seat was a little higher on this one than it was on this one. So you can see the lip, the edge is way thicker here than it is on this one. But the overall valve depth is going to be the same, which is fine. So there's only one that I did want to go back and just touch a little bit here. Because it didn't go quite deep enough. So we'll just touch this one down a little bit. And that's all we're looking for. Get that out of our way. And that has those all cut. So now basically I still have to surface the head. I haven't surfaced the head. So the recession is a little bit on the low side right now compared to, but I know that I got a warp in this head. So I'm gonna have to take a bunch of material off the head to get it to surface anyway. So we'll be within where the spec where I wanted, which was between 65 and 75 is where I wanted my valve recession to be for this head. So anyways, I'm gonna clean this up and then we'll probably, I'm going to go over and we're going to do the threaded frost plugs. All right, guys, doing the frost plugs. We're going to thread them. So taking the frost plug out, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is just tap it in till you get it to turn. And if you knock it in there, it's not the end of the world. If you knock it in, they're still not that hard to pull out. And then you can just pull them out with a pair of needle nose pliers, or you can use, I have an adjustable heel bar. And then they'll pop out. Now, if you do drop it down in there, you can just grab it with a magnet. You can stick it down in there, pull it up, and then you can grab it with your needle nose pliers. Pretty easy to pull out. Now, the way that I do this is with the mill, which is pretty easy to do. A little bit harder, a little bit more time consuming if you're doing it by hand. So all I do is just get that down in there using the mill. You can do this by hand. You can do it with an impact gun. You just need the tap for doing it, which is 22 mil metric plugs. So this is how I do it. Obviously, doing it with the mill, you do need to be careful that you don't cut into things that you don't want to. That's as easy as it is. Cut into them. Not really rocket science by any stretch of the imagination, but make sure you use a little lube on it. They do like a little bit of lube. They cut a little nicer if you use a little bit of lube. Throw this in a time lapse and I'll bang the rest of them out quick here. All right, guys, we got them all tapped. So it's not a very long process doing it on the mill. It doesn't take too long, but you need the mill and all the pieces. So it's one of those things, you're gonna do it yourself. Make sure you clean the head out real good afterwards. And yeah, pretty easy to do. I'll show you guys, me putting them in there obviously and stuff. But anyways, like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments. We're gonna call it good for this one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.